You sit down to start. The tab is open. The notebook is empty. Your body feels heavy, but not tired. Your mind feels loud, but not busy. You tell yourself you're lazy, but there's a quieter question underneath it. What if it's not the work you're avoiding? What if it's the feeling that comes with trying? Stay with that question. We'll come back to it. This doesn't look like chaos from the outside. It looks like later, like scrolling a little longer, like reorganizing instead of starting. You make plans in your head, detailed ones. You even care. But when it's time to act, something pulls you back. Not fear exactly, not boredom. It's more subtle. A tightening in the chest when you imagine failing. A sudden urge to clean your room. A strange relief when you decide to start tomorrow. Over time, this pattern starts to shape how you see yourself. You stop trusting your own intentions. You lower your goals before life can. In conversations, you joke about being lazy. In private, you wonder if something is wrong with you. Relationships feel affected too. You cancel plans that require effort. You avoid commitments that might expose you. And slowly, without realizing it, your self-talk changes. I'm just not disciplined. I always mess things up. Why even try? Psychologically, this isn't laziness. It's a form of avoidance behavior. Specifically, avoidance tied to identity threat. But that phrase alone doesn't explain the lived experience. So let's slow this down, because the real pattern hides in a feeling most people never name. Here's the reframe that changes everything. You are not broken. Your brain is doing what it learned to do. Avoidance is not a character flaw. It's an adaptation. At some point, your system learned that trying equals emotional cost. Not physical effort, emotional exposure. Trying means you might discover something painful about yourself. That you're not good enough. That you're behind. That you failed again. So your brain did something intelligent. It protected you by pulling you away from situations where your identity felt at risk. This is not weakness. It's survival logic. But to change it, you need to understand how that logic works. And this is where the mechanism matters. The brain doesn't avoid effort. It avoids threat. In neuroscience, the anterior cingulate cortex and amygdala scan for danger. Not just physical danger, social and identity danger too. When a task is linked to your sense of worth, the brain reads it like a risk. Here's the metaphor. Imagine your sense of self as a glass statue. Clear, fragile, important. Every time you try something that matters, you're asked to carry that statue through a crowded room. The brain asks one question: what if it breaks? Now at learning history, if past attempts led to shame, criticism, or disappointment, the brain stores that as data. So when a new task appears, your nervous system doesn't see the task. It sees the emotion attached to it. This is called effective forecasting. The brain predicts future feelings and acts to avoid pain. The mental model is simple. Task, predicted emotion, avoid or engage. If the predicted emotion is threat to identity, avoidance wins. And avoidance feels like laziness because it's quiet. There's no panic, just disengagement. But here's the open loop. If avoidance is protecting you, why does it make you feel worse over time? We'll answer that next. This isn't about forcing motivation. It's about changing what the brain predicts. We'll use 5 principles, each small, each grounded in psychology, not to push you, but to make trying feel safer. Step 1. Separate the task from the self. What to do? Rename the task in neutral terms. Not my future, not proof, not who I am. Just a draft, just an attempt. Why it works? This reduces identity fusion. When the self is less attached, the amygdala lowers threat detection. Real life example. Instead of, I need to succeed at this project, you say, I'm creating version 1. You haven't changed effort. You've changed meaning. That matters to the brain. Step 2. Lower the emotional stakes before the practical ones. What to do? Ask, what feeling am I avoiding? Name it without fixing it. Why it works? Labeling emotions activates the prefrontal cortex, which calms limbic reactivity. Real life example. Before starting, you say, I'm avoiding this because I don't want to feel incompetent. Nothing else, just that. The task hasn't changed, but your relationship to the feeling has. Step 3. Use exposure, not motivation. What to do? Engage for a time-bound, outcome-free window. 5 minutes. No goal. Why it works? This is behavioral exposure. The brain relearns safety through experience, not reasoning. Real-life example. You open the document and type anything for 5 minutes. Then you stop, even if it's going well. The message to the brain is, trying doesn't trap me. That's new data. Step 4. Track relief, not results. What to do? After stopping, notice one thing. Did the fear reduce after starting? Why it works? The brain updates predictions based on emotional outcomes. Relief rewires expectation. Real-life example. You notice that the dread was worse before you began, not during. This flips the forecast next time. Step 5. Build identity on process, not performance. What to do? Define yourself by showing up, not succeeding. Why it works? This stabilizes self-concept, reducing identity threat. Real-life example. You think, I'm someone who engages briefly, not, I'm someone who must do this well. The brain relaxes when the self feels durable. Notice what we didn't do. We didn't push harder. We didn't shame laziness away. We changed the emotional math. But there's one more layer. Why this works together as a system. Here's the model to remember. Think of your brain like a weather sensor. It predicts storms. Avoidance isn't the storm. It's the umbrella. When tasks predict emotional rain, the umbrella opens automatically. You don't need to break the umbrella. You need to change the forecast. Each step you practiced did one thing. It showed the brain that trying doesn't equal collapse. That identity can bend without breaking. And slowly, quietly, the umbrella stops opening as often. Not because you forced yourself, but because the threat is no longer convincing. You were never lazy. You were protecting something tender. Your sense of self. Your hope. Your dignity. Avoidance was the cost of caring. And now, you don't need to fight it. You just need to listen differently. The next time you pause before starting, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Ask, what feeling am I trying to stay away from? That question alone changes how the story unfolds. Because when the feeling is allowed, the work no longer feels dangerous. An effort, without threat, becomes something very close to peace.